Sure. Um, I'm going to be demoing some of the work that Meredith and I have been doing over the past week or two or three. I guess it's also built on some stuff Luke had already built, so shout out there. But we're going to showcase kind of an end-to-end workflow for the branch attached drafts project. Um, so yeah, can everybody see my screen? Yep.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so setup right now in my local environment is I just have two published pieces of content. Um, and one of the pieces of content has, where's deliveries, has some schedules attached to it. So we're going to go to the IDE and we're going to make a couple of branches. Um, sure, this is branch B. I think it's, I guess we'll pause here. Meredith, I don't know if you wanted to talk about some of the work that you've done here. And I can also
Yeah.
pull up the playground environment because it has some more stuff.
So in a minute or two, you'll see something we've referred to as the branch draft combo bar. And in order to get that off the ground, we needed to first do a redesign on the branch bar itself. So it's basic. I mean, this has been out for over weeks, so most of you have probably seen it already, but it's basically all the same functionality as before, shorter, so it'll match up with the branch bar. And then so the two menus that Eli was just clicking on, the connection environments and the DBT, those have been shrunk down to give us more horizontal room. So if you are on the default or production of those, you'll just see the logo, um, or the icon. And then if you're on a sort of a alternate version, then you will see the full name. And that's to kind of give us as much room as possible because this left section will be, as you'll see in a minute, combined with the draft header. And another thing we did, if you go to the branch options menu, is that this used to just be your switch branch menu, but now the switch branch is a nested menu, and you've got all your like sort of branch related actions over here instead of on the right side where they used to be. And that's pretty much the gist of that redesign.
Cool.
Thank you, Eli.
Um, Sweet. So I'm gonna make a second branch too, just to showcase that you're able to switch between branch attached drafts that are built off different branches. So we'll say branch A. Cool. So now we're gonna go back to our documents. I'm gonna open the digital dash, and you'll see we automatically get thrust into a branch attached draft for the digital dash. Um, you're on branch A. You can switch branches between branch A and branch B. They're all the same content right now. Um, and I guess we'll pause here for a second too. We have some work coming up that's going to make it clearer about this navigation from the homepage into a piece of content into a branch. Um, there's some work that Meredith is going to pick up soon that we're calling pinned branches, but it's just offering like better UI UX around knowing like the branch that's in your app state and how that dictates some of the navigational flows around the app. And I guess note that that isn't necessarily going to be the branch that you are viewing in a branch attached draft. There is often they will be the same, but there's nothing saying that they will always be the same. Um, so yeah, so we have the draft attached branch header bar. I guess I'll go to the workbook. We're gonna make some changes in this branch attached draft. You'll just trust me. This query here triggers schedules. So if I remove it, those schedules would get paused as a result of this draft being published. If I go to branch B, you'll see still has that tab there. The change we just made was isolated to branch A. And then, so you'll see here, we have an option to merge changes here from the branch, the combo bar. Wanted to shout out to, like, if you're paying attention, we didn't make any branch model changes here. This is purely a branch attached content change that allows you to merge the branch here. And similarly, like if we went to the IDE and we're in the branch mode, you'd see that we have this merge button. So there are some changes here. We tell you what drafts are going to be published as a part of merging this branch. And then we also tell you any deliveries that would be paused. Um, let's go here. We can make a change in a branch dash draft for this other document as well. Just approve it. And also, actually, while we're here, why don't we change something about the branch model and show that that is isolated to the branch attached draft. So what if I edit this, make it age +1? Also, sorry, this is taking pretty long. Cool, it's age +1. Just approve it to, boom, we've edited it. If I go and I exit the branch, you'll see that that age thing is, it's not on the published document, it's branch limited. But you'll see when we go and publish that branch and publish the associated content that the field definition will change with it. So we could have done this from the combo bar, but we'll do it from here as well. We'll merge. Also, shout out to some work here. Similarly, if you delete a branch, we let you know some active branch attached drafts that you're going to be archiving as a part of that. You can go and view it in a new tab. Not sure why it changed to dark mode there. But since we're going to merge it, we'll do that instead.
Eli, quick question.
Yeah.
Is there any thought either way about whether this means that effectively all drafts should be in branches? I'm sort of like idly wondering whether, because we have branches now and it's likely that users do want to diverge at times and things like that, whether we should try to drive people always into branches and they just become drafts or not. Because this sort of single draft on a document feels kind of arbitrary and strange. And this sort of seems like a better overall system.
I think it's too heavy to do it every single time. Like every time you're editing your doc. I could give it a little bit more thought, Colin, but I don't think
I think that's a UX problem for us, to be clear. Like, I agree that this workflow might be too heavy, but I think that this essentially probably should be the drafts workflow. And there almost shouldn't be multiple ways of doing this, but that could be confusing.
If I if I distill it, Colin, at least like the point that sticks with me of I think what you're saying is that this basically enables you to have multiple drafts on a single document. So every user can effectively have their own and not overwrite each other. And I think that is the pain point that solves outside of like general branch stuff. Is that
and like you've got the model attached, and like so if you're ever editing both, they're synced up together. Like it feels like it's at the right layer. There's a lot of UX here, but like that aside, this feels like the right editing mode versus two kinds.
There's a big caveat, which is that two drafts of two different branches will overwrite each other. Like whoever merges last wins. So it's not like you should not parallel these. It's not a great idea.
Oh, interesting.
They're not. There's no merging in the document models.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's a pretty important caveat.
Can you explain that again too? I'm not totally sure I followed the two drafts.
So let's just say I have draft A and draft B, the deal I had there. I published draft branch. Sorry. If I publish A and B exists predated or was created while A was out in the wild and not merged, B is going to go in and obliterate any changes that were in A.
Yeah, it's not like a composition. It's
not,
just like
they're not merging. They're overwrites. So
yeah,
at the document,
okay.
The model behaves correctly, but the model
yeah. We should give that a little bit of thought. I will say, like anecdotally, trying to roll back a change on one tab is pretty hard now. And
but it has more to do with like the document as a whole moves together.
No, exactly. That's exactly it.
And it's like, this doesn't solve those problems. There is a world of like, if we could serialize eventually, maybe rolling back is better. But honestly, your interrelationships are going to get, it's code. Like it's going to get awful to pull back very far always. And merging has all the complexities there. But we could get smarter over time about that. But I think that's sort of. So to your question, I think that there's a world in the not too distant future where you could mark certain documents as protected or requires, branch for modification. And I think there's some documents you don't care. Like if it's my personal dashboard, I don't want to have to like make a branch to so there's kind of this like, I think there are cases where you really want people to use branches for managing document versions, and there's cases where you don't. And I think
I'm just wondering out loud whether trying to even understand two things is worth it, and that's closer to like a fast branch than it is a draft. I just my overall worry is just like too many things for users to understand and like when to use which one
Yeah.
and whether we can simplify those sorts of things.
I don't think I'm not necessarily sure if this is a win, but I'm just going to communicate that I think it would be pretty easy to allow like the non-branch attached draft capability to be like a toggle or something. Like, we don't have to offer that. And I feel like it would be pretty easy now that we have branches to stop offering it if people don't want it. So I guess it's just like a lever to pull there. I don't know what the answer is though.
I have a feeling it's going to be depend on the user's maturity, let's say. So I think for plenty of folks, they don't need branches, they don't care. And if you don't, you shouldn't have to deal with it and understand the concept. And then as you get more mature, either organizationally or as an individual user, you'll care. I'm hoping it's Spectrum, but who knows?
We can give it a little bit of thought. I think the other thing is getting some using of it ourselves and with customers, so then I'm going to ask the question, which is when will this be available for us to test internally? And then we can back into when customers can try it.
We're going to turn the flag on Playground again today. I don't really think there's anything stopping us from doing that and getting some internal usage there. I think the main like general GA gotcha right now is we're going to try to meet with relevant people next week, like first thing, but we need to figure out all the edges of this in terms of interacting with the Git integration, specifically when pull requests are required. And then, yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add there, Meredith. Also note, I promise you that age +1 would have gotten promoted to the shared model if I had actually pushed it from the workbook to the branch, but I forgot that step. Lots of steps in the demo run book, was moving fast.
You got distracted by the good questions. Yeah, I don't have anything to add. I think we're super close, but the Git stuff is super important because we don't, you merge via pull requests, and we need to make sure that that goes just as smoothly as merging via a button in the branch bar.
We've kind of been attacking like some smaller feature flow wins this week, and I think we're just going to be pretty heads down on the Git side next week. So yeah, I guess that's just the gotcha when the flag is on in Playground. Try not to use it with pull requests.
You're up.